Now, from the WCCO Live Desk, you're watching CBS News Minnesota.
I'm Maria Lizzignoli. Thanks for joining us at the Live Desk. Today, Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty announced a new evidence portal as part of the Transparency and Accountability Project, otherwise known as TAP. Now, TAP will identify, investigate, and, if appropriate, pursue accountability for potential unlawful behavior by federal agents in Hennepin County. It is staffed by Hennepin County Attorney's Office prosecutors and a civilian investigator. Here's more from Moriarty.
TAP will identify, investigate, and, if appropriate, pursue accountability for potential unlawful behavior by federal agents in Hennepin County. It is staffed by prosecutors and a civilian investigator from our office. As part of this project, we are actively investigating 17 incidents that have been brought to our attention by the community. As you can imagine, many of the victims and witnesses have legitimate concerns about being publicly identified for fear of retaliation by the federal government. For that reason, we will not share information on all of the incidents we are investigating. There are a few, however, that are very public and for which we would like additional information. We are asking for the public's help in gathering additional information on these incidents. Customs and Border Patrol Commander Greg Bovino and other agents using force against observers and press near Mueller Park. That happened on January 21st of 2026 at about 2 p.m. ICE CBP usage of force against staff and students at Roosevelt High School. That happened on January 7th of 2026 at approximately 3:30 p.m. As you know, we created a portal to collect evidence in the shootings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy. The portal has served its purpose and has been taken down. Thank you to everyone who contributed information to that portal. We are now opening a new portal for community members to share photos and video on any incidents that may involve potentially unlawful conduct by federal agents. Through our new submission form, and you can see the QR code there, community members can also describe incidents they experienced or witnesses, even if they do not have photos or videos to share. There are many victims whose stories need to be told. We will investigate and pursue charging where appropriate, and we will continue to seek collaboration with local law enforcement wherever needed. I want to be clear with our community about the challenges these investigations entail. Because the federal government has refused to provide us information about the actions of their officers in Minnesota, we may not be able to learn, for example, the identity of masked agents. Additionally, bringing charges against a federal agent involves complex legal analysis. Once filed in state court, any federal agent charged can try to move the case to federal court. Federal agents can also try to rely on supremacy clause immunity. But I've said this repeatedly, and I want to be clear. There is no absolute immunity for federal agents. And we must be fully prepared to litigate these issues before filing a charge in state court. Make no mistake, we are not afraid of the legal fight, and we are committed to doing this correctly. Operation Metro Surge caused immeasurable harm to our community. Our immigrant neighbors have shown incredible bravery and resilience. Our broader community showed incredible courage, protecting neighbors, engaging in mutual aid, and documenting all that happened. Our community deserves transparency and accountability. TAP is a critical part of our effort to ensure that happens. Question was about enclosing the portals for Preddy and Good. What does that signify, and where are we in terms of those investigations? So we received over 1,000 submissions, and it's simply, as I said, run its course. We feel pretty good about the idea that we've probably gotten everything that's out there at the moment, and the BCA is following up on that. In terms of where we are in those investigations, as you also know, we have demanded in TUI letters information from the federal government regarding 3 investigations, Preddy, Good, and also Julio Sosa Solis. We have demanded that information be given to us tomorrow, so we are expecting to hear a response from the federal government tomorrow. Are we able to make a charging decision with information from the portal without the ballistics and other evidence that the federal government took? So it isn't just evidence from the portal. The BCA has been interviewing people who were witnesses to this. I've mentioned before we also have the medical examiner's reports. That, I think, ultimately may be more important than ballistics. I've said this repeatedly. We know how everybody died, and it really, I think the medical examiner's report may ultimately be much more important than what type of gun was used. We'll know how many shots are fired, what trajectories those came from. So I do feel confident that we will be able to make charging decisions in those cases. I can't say when that will happen, but I feel very confident that we will be able to make those decisions. So the question is, should we charge in federal court? Do we expect the federal government to obstruct us? I would say they're already doing that. They are, to my understanding, not even doing a federal investigation into the shooting of Renee Good, which is fairly astounding given the fact that you would expect in any deadly use of force, no matter how you thought about what it looked from video, you would do a use of force investigation and then arrive at a conclusion as to what happened. But we know they're not doing that. We know that the BCA had been in conversation with the FBI about getting information in the Preddy case. Those conversations went on for a while until the administration sent somebody here from the administration and then said, no, we're not going to cooperate, we're not going to give you anything. And so our view of it is that they are obstructing. They continue to do that. We hope that by tomorrow we do get a response from them giving us the information we've asked for. But if they don't, that's another indication that they are obstructing our ability to gather all of the information that we need or that we want to have to make decisions in this case. And let me be clear, if I were one of the federal agents, I would want that information. I would want any entity that was considering whether charges are appropriate to have that information too. And if I'm the public, if I'm the government, I would want transparency. It is not helpful for the government to say, well, these people were domestic terrorists or something like that, when people know that wasn't true, right? What the public wants is a transparent, thorough investigation, an announcement of what is appropriate, charges or not, and the reasoning behind it. That is the only way the public can be expected to respect a decision and that they can either agree with or disagree with, but at least they know why it was made. If we don't hear from them by tomorrow, we're certainly prepared to file a lawsuit to get that information.